Welcome to the Nerdy Jock Podcast. I am Kevin Ketchum, your host, aka the Nerdy Jock, and today I'm starting a brand new series, which I'm super excited about. We are going to be covering one of my favorite series of all time, or at least right now, in the anime and manga world. It is Dan Da Dan. Okay, so season 2 ended quite a while ago, but that's my favorite show. Me and DK did a whole special. We tier ranked every episode of season 1, which was fantastic, superb, probably the best anime, in my opinion, of a couple years ago. And season 2 did not disappoint either. We had the Evil Eye arc, we had the Kaiju arc, which just ended at the end of season 2. So now my new goal here is to actually go chapter by chapter, because after season 2 ended, I got like FOMO, man. I was missing out. I was like, dude, I have to finish this series, or at least get caught up, because I couldn't wait 2 or 3 more years for the next science through anime to come out. So I was like, you know what? Let's start reading all the manga. So if you look up here above me, I've got pretty much all the manga up to date. It is on Shonen Jump as well. So if you want to follow in on this podcast on Shonen Jump, I recommend doing that as well. But what we're doing is I'm going to go chapter by chapter with you guys, and we're going to talk about everything that happened after season 2. Now, before we get into the manga, season 2 ended on chapter 71. Just a brief recap. If you haven't watched it, by the way, watch season 1 and season 2. But at the very end, there's a huge mobile house fortress fight between Momo's house, which turns into a giant robot because of nanotechnology and AI from the aliens that they acquired, which is pretty cool. And a huge kaiju that is basically like a Godzilla. And what we find out is after the battle, they bring this kaiju that was like 3 or 4 stories tall, was shrunk back into a normal human size Godzilla monster, which I'll show a post here on the slides. I'm about to do some slides too. Now, what happens is they find a zipper on the kaiju's body. They slowly unzip it because Okarun says he thinks he saw a head. So they unzip a zipper, and boom, out pops a Rei Ayanami-esque looking space alien chick, who we don't know who her name is yet, but she sees Okarun, and boom, she jumps up, she grabs him, pulls him in, kisses him, and at the exact same moment, Momo Ayase, who's exhausted, one of my favorite characters, she slides the door to the next room, opens her eyes, looks, and sees, boom, Okarun and this mysterious girl kissing. So she's pissed, and it's a great way to start chapter 72 and on season 3. So I'm kind of going to go down here. I'll be looking down a lot, but also have all the slides captioned for you guys to go over when we go over it. But let's go and dive right into Dan Da Dan chapter 72. Okay. So Momo opens the doors. Boom. Okarun, are you okay? And bam, they're kissing. It's a pretty big panel. Like a big makeout panel right there. I'll show it right here as well for you. And then you get this hilarious panel action of Kinta and Gigi just being the complete goofballs that they are. Like, what? He's kissing her? And then Okarun's face. It's so hilarious how he's like reacting to that too, because he's like, what is going on here? You know, he's only kissed one girl before, and that was Momo, and that was on accident early in the season. You know, they had a very fun, cute meet moment where they're both walking, not looking, and they turn and they just do a little kiss. So this is actually like Okarun's first real kiss in the series. And the fact that it's not with Momo, that's gonna cause some waves for sure. So then you see them both, and boom, 72 starts. And this chapter is called Somebody Please Translate. So everyone's freaking out. Okarun's freaking out, Kinta's freaking out, Gigi's freaking out, and then Momo goes crazy. And the next page, boom, you see her doing a flying jump kick to this mysterious girl right to the face and knocks her over. Then she just basically grabs her and says like, what do you think you're doing, you intruder? And then at the same time, because there's always zany action happening in this series, like at all times, we got Kinta is freaking out because he should have been the one to open the zipper. You know, he's freaking out because he didn't get to kiss her. And then Gigi's just blown away by the magnitude of the situation, which I love how everything in this series is like hyper exaggerated in the manga and even the anime. It's just really, really great. And the fact that now there's this mysterious girl who is also another probably love interest for Okarun, which, if you've read ahead, that's the case. So he's got like three suitors now. And it reminds me a lot of Ranma, because in Ranma One Half, if you haven't watched it, it's a great series. But Ranma has like probably a dozen or more suitors that just constantly come after him. So it's a lot of slapstick, a lot of zany action and comedy. But Down to Dawn does it the best. It's up there. And then she looks down. She's like, Momo, her crazy face. She says, "I see. So you were the kaiju, huh?" And she tries to speak, but if you can see right here, it's a lot of arrows and pointy notification for the symbols for how they talk. But we obviously can't understand that. And Momo's like, "What are you saying? I can't understand you, you dummy." And now they're all just kind of freaking out, right? And then, Okarun tells her to calm down, that we can't even understand what she's saying or listen. And, they say, hey, she doesn't want to fight anymore, it looks like. And besides, we need to ask her about Okarun's golden balls, which is like the mystery of the series. Where did it go? And she says, no way. But, Miss Ayase, it's because she kissed you. Because she kissed you. That's why you're trying to be nice to her, right? And Okarun's like, what? It's not like that. And they get a little argument, little scuffle there. And a girl kisses you and you can act normal. But I really was shaken up. And she's really pretty. So, she's like, I knew it. I hate this. And of course, Momo, she does get the short end of the stick in a lot of these situations. So she storms off pissed as usual, which I don't blame her in this situation actually too. They have feelings together. So kind of throws a wrench in her love life there. And then Okarun's like, Miss Ayase, always trying to, get her attention, get her back. And then he goes into depression on the next page here. And it says, Takakura, this is Kinta, no time to fight again amongst yourselves. We need to think about how we can communicate with this girl. So it cuts to two kids in a field. And then you see Okarun and Kaiju girl walking down the street. And I think I know where they're going. And so it's funny. Gigi does this is really hilarious. He says, hey, look, Oxalotical. I love how he's always trying to like make a funny situation out of like a tense moment, he might be one of my favorite characters overall. And she's not reacting at all. He's trying to do a funny face like he does. And Kinta's like, stop that. You're scaring her. And just the character play between Kinta and Gigi, it's actually great. I mean, I love Kinta now too. I mean, let's be real. On Dawn to Dawn, that's why you love this show. All the characters are great, but their goofball play between each other is really, really, really funny. And then Kinta's trying to introduce himself and saying that he's known as Galewind Albert and that he is the one who actually opened her zipper. So he's trying to get her to fall in love with him instead of Okarun. And he says, I was first. He was second. Got it? And he says, you know what? Okarun's like, just chill out, bro. We're going to figure this out. So they go to a farm. It cuts to the farm on the next page. And it's, of course, Mr. Mantis Shrimp, our guy. And he's like, who is this person, right? And he notes that he's never seen an alien like this before. And we're going to find out soon enough there are a lot of aliens, and they are all over this world. And then Gigi says, for real? To me, you two seem pretty similar, Mr. Mantis Shrimp. Excuse me, we're not the least bit alike. Who is this man? Kinta says. Some kind of prophet? Well, Okarun explains briefly that we call him Mantis, Mr. Mantis Shrimp, and that he's also an alien, which we found in season 1. He's still there. And I've never seen once before. He looks like an ordinary middle-aged man, but obviously he's in a disguise. So luckily for plot device, Mr. Mantis Shrimp has a translator, and they try to use that to figure out what this mysterious kaiju girl is saying. And they put this thing in her mouth, and it's a goofy looking costume, like a I can't remember his name. One of those like black and white comedy actors from back in the day. Maybe Groucho. I think that's a Groucho, like a Groucho mustache with the glasses and the eyebrows, and it's classic. And what's great about Dawn to Dawn is that there's so many great references in here, and you just know, you just know that, Yukinobu Tatsu is a huge, he's just a huge cinephile and a huge fan of pretty much all pop culture. Now, they're trying to figure this out. Gigi starts laughing. No laughing matter. Kinta's trying to protect the kaiju girl, saying, just, trying to be the big, bold, strong man, which we know he's not, which makes it more funny. And then, so she says, stop that. Quit laughing. Wow. So now we'll be able to understand alien tongues. He's like, well, there'll be things we still won't get. And they say, okay, well, let's try it. And so he says, my name is Takakura. What's yours? And then boom, probably the most important part of this episode, of this chapter here, is that she says her name is Vamola. So now it's not Rei Ayanami-esque kaiju girl, it's Vamola. We know she's an alien and, a love interest to all three of these guys. Vamola, 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 Miss Vamola. And they're all freaking out because now they figured out her name. And whoa, like King Kazu, Don Dondi. Well, they say, tell us more, like, why'd you come to Earth? And, this translator's not working too well. So they're just like, hey, they're getting pieces here and there. And it says, like it says on the next page, it can only pick up a few words. Now, she was looking for a powerful person to fight. And if I lose, the powerful person and I get married. Dun, dun, dun. Very similar to Ranma. Any suitor he fights in battle, whether it's Amazon Princess, Akane, everyone in the show, basically Shampoo, they all, lose to Ranma, and then they fall in love, and they feel like they got to get married. So that's definitely ripped off from Rumiko Takahashi's Ranma 1/2 series, but it's one of the best. It's a good rip. And he says, you and I, and she says, we'll be married. And Kinta freaks out, what about me? So good. This is just the best. He's like, I'm the one who is piloting the great Kinta. I'm the one who defeated you, Miss Vanilla. And Okarun's like, I don't want any of this. He's like, yeah, he's right. Not me. I just need to chill out. I want to play on the sidelines here. I don't really want to get involved in another relationship. And then on the next page, it says, oh, she seems to have understood you. Yeah? Thank goodness. Glad we got that sorted out. What are you talking about? Okarun's super tough, and Gigi's not helping the situation out at all. And I don't want things to be any more mixed up. Exactly. Now, she says, Okarun says, but we understand her objective now, right? This should straighten out Miss Ayase's misunderstanding. Big relief to Okarun. And then Kinta says, okay, baby. In a Elvis Presley-esque pose. All that confusion was my fault. Time for Duver. Lay one on me. He goes in for a kiss. Scares poor Vamola out, and she grabs Okarun. So another miss by Kinta as usual. And then the guys just have a little riff in the back. Vamola, Vamola, Vamola. And then, Okarun's freaking out. Mr. Manta Shrimp, isn't there a translator from our end? There's not. So there's still going to be a language barrier because we can translate a few words that she's saying, but she's not going to really understand what any of the guys are saying or any of the humans are saying. So we're going to have to work on that. Mr. Manta says he's going to fix it in the future. And next time when they come again, he says again. And then Kinta says, I'm not giving up. So all over the place in that one. But we find out Vamola is her name. We know she's an alien. We have a very, very, basic translator. And hopefully that can settle some situations or more likely cause more problems. Now, we're going to cut to, on the next page, another great abandoned building. This is, you see some Serpoians on this page as well. And this is where they do most of their work on Earth, is in scary abandoned hospitals or buildings, office buildings, stuff like that, or even schools. That's like their MO. And then once you see down the mysterious hallway, it says, one Serpoian guy says, we have not seen you before. Is this your first time on Earth? Well, this area is our territory. You are not free to enter it as you please. And then boom, psychic attack. The two Serpoians on the side get knocked out into the wall. Whoever this guy is, they have power. And you see this reptilian kind of arm hand grab the middle Serpoian in the face. And then boom, really cool panel on the next page. He says, your things are my things, and my things are my things. Boom. End of chapter. So who is this? Who is this mysterious mantis-looking creature? We don't know, but another alien species added to Dandadan. When I first started watching the show, I did not have any idea how are you going to make this show work more than 1 or 2, maybe even 3 seasons max? But as the manga goes along, you quickly realize Yukinobu Tatsu has a plan, and they keep incorporating a lot of new aliens, and in the near future, they're going to actually expand off Earth, and you're going to get some back history into a lot of these other aliens that are being introduced. So we're in a pretty interesting spot here, and it's cool. It's because now we know there's a new threat now that the kaiju's over, but it's great that they didn't wait at all. It was basically hey, at the end of the last chapter, we find out that the kaiju is actually a woman in a, multiple kaiju spaceship outfit, alien tech gear, right? And then at the end of this chapter, end of chapter 72, we get the introduction of a new bad guy. So not wasting any time, they really just are going right into it. And that's one thing I love about Dandadan. They're able to build the characters with really fun set pieces and comedic moments and interactions between the characters, but they also just push forward, man. There's not really too much lag here and there. And even when they do have a down or 2 chapter, which they do always have those, they're actually pretty good for developing the plot. So, that was a pretty cool chapter. You got to know her name, you got to see a new mantis bad guy come into the fold, and you get some more dynamic between the characters. You've got Momo that's pissed off at Okarun again for something he didn't do, but it was a big kiss, and that's a big momentous moment for both the characters. You got Kenta, who wants to date her as well, and you got Gigi just there stirring the pot. So that's basically what happened in chapter 72. And just join me for chapter 73. We'll keep these rolling. They're going to be pretty short, 17 to 20 minutes max. And this is my first time doing this kind of a setup, so it might adapt in the future. But if you haven't read it, read the manga. It's also on Shonen Jump as well, if you want to check it out there. But just come in, hang out, listen to me talk about Dandadan, and watch our sister pod. We're actually doing a series on the Ghost in the Shell before the new Science Saru Ghost in the Shell anime series releases on July 7th. So meet us there, join us back again, and until next time, os! Oh yeah, and like and subscribe to our channel, and tell us what we can work on and what we can improve, and talk to you soon. Os!